Alright, this can be the tutorial for the return trip to Forest Navel in the 8-day route. We don't have to... We encounter a few enemies, but we don't have to actually fight anything. Really the only danger here is the fire geyser, so this is a pretty easy day. Probably the easiest day, honestly, other than the impact site. So we need to take out 40 reds. 45 blues. And then 15 yellows. And once we have everyone, we can head down to the fire geyser area. So keep an eye out for any trips. A lot of the time, or that. A lot of the time when you have 100 Pikmin, there is a lot of tripping going on. So you can kill this guy if you want. We really don't have to deal with him. Just walk by on the left or the right, depending on which way he's facing. Now hug the left wall here. Keep an eye out for trips. Trips are a little harder to see here also, because they kind of clip into the ledge when they trip. But we want to... So right there, what I can do to separate the Pikmin the way I want is grab a red, hold it in your hand, throw it towards the bridge, and then just press X, and the yellows and reds will go near the bridge, and the blues will stay behind you. So that's who we want to put there, and then we can grab our blues. And put 5 blues on there. And the rest we're going to go over here to grab the analog computer and get it out of the water. And we're going to want to grab it right when it gets about here. And now we can hug the left wall on our way back. I don't know why I switched walls, that's just the way I prefer it. And we're going to go on to the anti-dioxin filter, which is... it takes 40. And it's got 2 Wollywogs next to it, but Wollywogs are really easy to distract, so we don't need to deal with them. So just make sure they both go near the bottle here. And then as soon as they do their first jump, you can zoom in and swarm the part. And then make sure they jump kind of to the left of the bottle. And then we want to make this guy jump as well. You barely need to make him move at all, really. And then we're going to go down to the bridge, which should be done in a sec. Oh, nope. I was get tricked by this bridge. It looks like it's done, but it's not quite. There we go. So separate your Pikmin here. We want to grab our blues. Throw them on this thing. And then throw our yellows up there. Throw our yellows up here as well. And then, so the physics with this thing are weird when it falls off the ledge. If it's on screen. If it's not on screen, it's fine. So as soon as you throw all your Pikmin here, back up, zoom in, and grab your reds. And we actually don't need the blues. But while we wait for that to come down, we're going to go with our reds to grab the analog computer. And throw 25 on here. So we have 15 left. And we want to grab this before it gets to the fire geysers, which luckily I was fast enough to do. Grab our reds. Put the reds on it. And then go back with everyone else. And you can just leave these guys here. I don't want them to be too close to that flower, but you can leave them here and they'll grab onto the parts and speed it up. And now we're going to go grab the number 2, I think, Ionium Jet. Just throw as many on it as you can. And then grab the people that don't grab on. She should have 15, and then we can use these guys to speed up the other two parts. Alright, and we can also check if you're nervous, just to make sure everyone grabbed it here, which they did. And that's about it. We just gotta wait for them to come back. This is honestly a good day to practice cutscene skips also, which I explain a little more in, I think, actually, I don't know if I even mentioned them in my advanced tutorial, but Moke has a good video on them. Just if you bring up a text box right as the part comes in, then it cancels the cutscene. And there we go, that's it for Force Navel. Pretty easy second trip. And we're good.